Okay, so we're actually going to start standing. So if you would please join me in mountain pose. So our feet are directly underneath our hips. We're going to have our arms to the sides of our bodies with our forearms rotated so that our palms are facing forward. Feel free to close your eyes here and just settle into this standing posture. Feel your weight shifting, finding whatever your balance is right here, right now. And breathe. If you notice that you're holding your breath because you're so focused on standing upright, just come back to your breath. Take a deep inhale. Listen to these cute little birds that you might be able to hear. On your next inhale, we're going to swoop our arms up to the side to meet palm to palm over our head. You're going to clasp your fingers together and make a little bit of a steeple with your fingers. So I'm just going to lower my hands so you can see because they're out of the frame when I'm here. Making a tall, tall, tall steeple pointing towards the sky or the ceiling. Take another inhale, and on your next exhale, you're going to draw an arc with those fingertips towards your right side so that you end up in a side body stretch, stretching the left side, the left torso. Continue to breathe in this position. You might start to get a little shaky, and if you start to feel uncomfortable, just ease up on the amount that you're tilting. On your next inhale, bring yourself back to an upright position. And as you exhale, let the arms fall down. Take a second to just do a little bit of a shoulder circle in either direction, either forward or backwards. Both shoulders at the same time or one at a time. Whatever feels great for you. And on our next inhale, we will do that again, going to the other side. So we're inhaling the arms up. This time, as you make your steeple shape, try to cross the other arm over, the other hand on top so that you are getting a different experience. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, draw the fingertips towards the left so that you find a side stretch in the right side body. You might even feel like you want to do a little bit of shifting here. I'm going to turn to the side so that you can maybe see what I mean by this, but sometimes I find when I'm in this shape that I really hyperextend in my spine and stick my butt out and my ribs out. And we don't want to tuck our pelvis and make a super straight line with our spine, but we do want to try to find some of the natural curvature there. So check in to see if any of that's happening with you. On your next inhale, come back up, right. Exhale, let the arms float down. And again, just a couple of gentle shoulder circles. You could maybe even do a little bit of a head or a neck circle here. If you found that you were clenching your jaw or your neck in that position, probably feeling a little sore, a little tight in this area right now. So just give yourself some time to move through it. All right, our feet are still underneath our hips. We're going to clasp the hands behind us. We're going to take an inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to forward fold at the hips, letting the hands continue to fall and reach forward. And also, if you're feeling tight in your hamstrings right now, you can bend the knees. The knees don't need to be completely straight here. And once you've gotten there, really generous exhale to let all of that out. So we're going to go through a little bit of a flow here. I'm turning to the side so that you can see all parts of me, but step to the front of your mat, whichever direction you're in. We're going to inhale, take the arms up and overhead. Palms reach each other overhead and make a prayer shape, and exhale as your palms come forward in front of your chest. Take another inhale and exhale here. Then take another inhale, and on your following exhale, find that forward fold again. Releasing the hands to the mat. And this time we're going to place some pressure in the palms so that we can find ourselves in a kneeling position, tabletop flat back here. So we're thinking about our wrists being underneath our shoulders and our knees being underneath our hips. We're going to take a couple of breaths in cat-cow here. So we will inhale as we cow. We are arching the spine, the neck, shoulders, and chest are reaching upwards on a forward diagonal. And we'll exhale as we do the reverse curve in the spine. We're thinking about sending our head towards our pelvis. And inhale into the cow shape again. And exhale into cat. One more. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And on your next inhale, just come to a flat tabletop position with the back. And take a couple of seconds to just move your spine from head to tail. So thinking about our head-tail connection, and if you could draw a little arc with your body. When your head goes to the left, your hips go to the left. When your head goes to the right, your hips go to the right. Just spend some time playing with those sort of C shapes in the torso. You can even feel free to make some circles with the spine here. Or maybe even some undulations through the spine, real snaky. Whatever feels good. And find your way back to flat back tabletop position. We're going to go through cat-cow again, but we're going to do the opposite with our breath. So this time we will inhale in cat, and exhale in cow. Inhale, curving the back, thinking about forehead to tailbone. Exhale, arching in the spine, opening the chin, neck, chest to the front diagonal. Let's do 2 more sets of those. Here's our cat. Here's our cow. Last one, cat, cow. And from here, we're going to send our hips backwards towards our heels to find child's pose. We're going to let the hands continue to reach forward, maybe even slide them out even further so that our chest is resting on our thighs. We're just going to breathe there for a couple of breaths. So child's pose is a position that you can always return to if you feel like anything that we're doing in the flow is a little too intense. If you're feeling any pain or anxiety, child's pose is a really great position to explore. So I invite you to let yourself fold into that shape at any time throughout this practice. I also invite you to take a break and drink water anytime that you need. Okay, on your next inhale, we're going to draw the palms a little bit closer to the body so that we can find this tabletop hands and knees position again. And on your exhale, go ahead and tuck the toes and send the hips upward and back so that we find ourselves in downward dog. So again, this is a place where your hamstrings might feel really tight and you might feel like you want to bend the knees a little bit to release some of the pressure. You might also want to pedal the feet so that you're starting to bring some energy into all the little muscles in your foot and the arch. You could also shift your hips from side to side. Again, similar to our free spine exploration in tabletop a few minutes ago, whatever you need to do in the first downward dog of our practice, feel free to play and explore. On your next exhale, we're going to lower the knees back down to the ground so that we're yet again in our tabletop position. It's one of my favorite ways to start a practice. And then we're going to lower the elbows so that the forearms are on the ground. And we want to think about our elbows being underneath our shoulders, and then our forearms are parallel to each other here. And we're going to send both of our feet back. I have to move forward on my mat because I'm so tall. We're going to send both of our feet back with the toes pressing us into this very low plank position. We're just going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go ahead and let your hips lower to the ground. We're going to find ourselves in Sphinx pose, so you might need to adjust your elbows a little bit so that they're, again, underneath your shoulders. Our forearms are still parallel to each other. And we want to think about the neck lifting and extending forward and out. So if you find that you're crunching or letting yourself sink into this shape with your ear sort of sinking into your shoulders, see if there are any adjustments that you can make to find your way a little more upright. It might mean that you want to send your elbows a little more forward to have some more leverage to press. And we're going to move our head with our breath here. So we're going to take an inhale as we look to the right. So a slow turn of the head to the right. And as you exhale, slow turn to bring the head back so that you're looking in front of yourself. On your next inhale, slow turn of the head to the left. And as you exhale, returning the head to center. We'll do that again. Inhale, looking to the right. Exhale, return the head to center. Inhaling to the left, trying to make sure that you're keeping a spacious neck. Exhale, back to center. And we're going to hold here, giving yourself some time to just feel what the rest of our muscles are doing. So I have a tendency to really squeeze my butt cheeks when I'm in Sphinx pose, and sometimes I wonder if that's really necessary. And so if I let that go, I just want to see what other muscles would need to activate to keep me here. And there's not always a right answer to that. It's really sort of an individualistic experience. So just kind of play with the tension in all of your muscle groups, maybe shift a little bit and just see where you feel the most comfortable. Okay, take an inhale. And on your exhale, we're gonna just lower the chest down all the way. And then we're gonna use our forearms to press us back into a downward dog position. So coming onto the palms, finding the feet. And take an inhale, look towards the palms. And as you exhale, step or hop towards your palms so you're in a forward fold. And we'll hang out here for a second. Feel free to do whatever would feel good with your arms. I really like clasping my elbows in forward fold, so I'm gonna hang out here, but you could always return to the palms clasped behind the back and reaching forward. And on your next exhale, wherever your hands were, release them to the ground. And as you inhale, roll up through the spine. This time, let's bring the arms up with us. So they're going to just come up overhead like they're reaching towards the ceiling or the sky. And as you exhale, let the arms just fall heavy by your sides. We're going to go through some sun salutations now. So step towards the front of your mat. We'll inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, let the arms float down by your sides and forward fold at the hips. On your next inhale, we're going to make a flat back, so lifting halfway. As you inhale, place the palms onto the mat. Exhale, send your feet backwards to find your plank. Take an inhale here. And on your next exhale, bend the elbows to lower yourself down into chaturanga. And as you inhale, we'll press up either into baby cobra or upward dog, whatever feels great for you right now. And then as you exhale, we will send the hips backwards and up to get to our downward dog. Take an inhale and lift your right leg, just gently, doesn't have to be anything too wild. And as you exhale, lower it down. We'll do the same on the other side. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale the left leg down. One more time each side. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale the right leg down. Left side, inhale the leg up. Exhale the leg down. Inhale, take a look at your palms. As you exhale, hop or step forward towards them. We're in a forward fold again. We'll take another inhale to find our flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, find your forward fold again. And as you inhale, scoop the arms up by your sides so that they find palm to palm overhead in your prayer shape. Feel free to even arch the back a little bit here. And as you exhale, bring the arms, the hands in front of the chest. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, release the arms. We'll do that again. Inhale, bring the arms up by your side overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, place the palms on your mat. Exhale, send the toes back to plank. Take an inhale in this shape. And as you exhale, lower down. Inhale, coming up to cobra or upward dog. Exhale, hips backwards into downward dog. We'll inhale, bring the right leg up again. This time as you exhale, bend the knee, tuck it in close to the chest, bring your weight forwards. Into the air. Exhale, lower that leg down. I want to do that again, but I'm not going to talk you through it. I would love to give you time to do it at your own pace with your own breath. I'm getting a weird message on my computer that says poor internet detected. But it looks like you're all still moving, so I'm going to assume that means you can still hear and see me. And when you've finished that breathing sequence in downward dog in both left and right side, take an inhale, look at your palms, and as you exhale, step or hop forward. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold again. As we inhale, sweeping the arms up to the side to come up. Palms meet overhead, maybe finding a little bit of an arch in the upper back. Exhale, bringing the palms down in front of the heart. Take another inhale here. And exhale, lower the hands. Just because I got that weird message on my computer, I'm going to step a little bit closer to the screen. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me and see me? Okay, great, thanks. Oh, an emoji, thank you. All right, we're going to go through another flow, adding some lunges this time, stepping towards the top of your mat. Inhale, bringing the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, place the hands on the mat. Exhale, send the feet back into plank. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, bend the elbows to lower down. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. We will inhale the right leg up. As you exhale, bend the knee. We're going through the same shape that we just went through. And once your exhale is finished, plant the right foot between your palms so that we're in a lunge. And then go ahead and let your back knee come to the mat and untuck your toes. So at this moment, feel free to keep your palms completely on the mat. You might want to come to fingertips on the mat, or you might be able to come completely upright. Either way, take a second to check in with your hips to make sure that they are finding equal ground here. So we don't want one hip cocked up higher than the other. We also don't want one hip moving forward more than the other. We're trying to find an equal balance in the placement of the hips here. So wherever your hands were, if you were able to, we're going to take an inhale and sweep the hands forward and up. We're finding our steeple shape with our hands again, so clasping the fingers. The two pointer fingers are reaching towards the sky. And if you're capable, we're going to find another arch in the high upper back here. Continuing to breathe. And as we exhale, we'll lower those hands. If you had brought them up, if you did not, it's okay. From here, we're going to do that one more time. So we'll inhale, scooping the arms forward and overhead, clasping the fingertips, arching back. And in that arch back position, again, making sure that the hips are even. I have a tendency in my backwards arch to sort of let my front hip cock out to the side. So see if you can keep that balance in the hips as you're in this shape, if you've joined me here. And on your next exhale, lower the hands. This time we will tuck the toes, lift the back knee, and we're going to come into a high lunge. So again, a couple of options. You might want to keep your hands connected to the ground. If that is the case, just making sure that you're keeping as much length in your spine as possible and trying not to, again, let your ears and shoulders meet each other. If you've got it in you, come on up. We're going to do a little bit of a twist. So we'll inhale, bring the arms up to the sides. They'll meet overhead in prayer. As you exhale, your prayer shape will come in front of you. We will rotate the spine towards the right and then tilt forward, letting the left elbow rest on the outside of the right knee for this lunge. So if you made it here with me, continue to hold it there. If you need a couple of options or variations for that, if it's too difficult for you, you can go ahead and lower the knee and find that same twist here. Or if the twist itself is just not working for you, you don't have to push yourself to do it. You can just stay in this sort of deep low lunge. Wherever you are, make sure you're still breathing. All right, take a deep inhale. On your next exhale, lower your hands back to the mat. We are going to draw the back leg just a little bit closer to the front leg so that we're standing in this open triangle shape with our legs. Another forward fold here. Continue to breathe. Our next shape is going to be a balance on the right foot. So just get ready for that, guy. All right, so to transition into that balance, let's go ahead and make sure that the palms of our hands are in front of our front foot. We're just going to gently rock our weight back and forth just to see what it feels like to have the weight more on that front foot than on the back foot here. And if you are feeling ready for it, go ahead, find your balance on the right foot, lift the arms, hands. We're going to bend the left knee, pull it through so that is in front of us, and bring the knee to the chest. So I'll show you a little side view of that. Hugging the knee in. And then rotating that leg, the lifted left leg, at the hip. Just open that leg to the side a bit. This is our preparation to go into tree pose. So a couple of options in tree pose. You could let your left foot rest against the inside of your right thigh, or the inside of your right calf, or the toes of your foot could be on the mat with your heel touching the standing ankle. You do not want your foot to press into your standing knee. So find whichever of those you like. And let's actually balance with our arms in a T shape out to the side today. Unless, of course, the hand balancing is or the hand extending, I guess, is not great for you. Maybe you still want to hold on to your leg. Finding length in the spine, length and strength through the leg. And take an inhale. Woo, I'm flying. On your next exhale, lower that leg. And let's shake out the standing leg. There's a lot of work for that guy. You might want to circle the ankles a little bit here, because we're about to do all of that again, but on the left side. So now that you know what's coming, maybe a little more mentally prepared. And because we've done a couple of planks and we'll have a few more, let's go ahead and stretch out our wrists also. So we'll just take the hands in front and fold at the wrist the opposite way that you did when you were in your plank or tabletop position. Just make sure that you do that on both wrists. And then let that go. We'll go into our flow to get into all of that on the left side. So stepping to the top of your mat. Feet are underneath the hips. Take an inhale, lifting the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, letting the arms fold down as well. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, full on forward fold. Inhale, place the palms on the mat. Exhale, sending the feet into plank. Take an inhale here. And exhale, bending the elbows to lower down. Inhaling into cobra or up dog. Then exhale into downward dog. This time we are lifting the left leg up as we inhale. As we exhale, we'll bend the knee, bring it close to the chest, and then let the sole of the left foot find the mat so that we're in this low lunge. Let the back knee find the ground, untuck your toes. Let's check in with our hips here before we move. So same set of instructions and same suggestions as we had on the first side here. So checking in with our hips. Yogi's choice as to what happens with your hands. I'm going to take an inhale. If you're here, let's find the opposite cross in the hands. Little arch back. And exhale. Woo, I'm falling off of my balance. Lowering back into this deeper little lunge here. Hands are back on the mat. I'm just going to go through that again. I'm going to inhale, swooping the arms up and overhead, clasping the fingertips, arching slightly back. And exhale, releasing the palms to the mat. Wanted to stay with the back knee down to do the twist, you're more than welcome to. So I'm going to come up into this higher lunge. I'm going to take an inhale, scooping the arms up by the side. They're meeting palm to palm overhead. Exhale, bringing them in front of my chest. I'm going to rotate my spine to the left, forward fold so that my right elbow is on the outside of my left knee. Keep breathing here. And on your next a little bit closer to the front leg. So we are in this triangle forward fold. Hanging out yogi's choice of what to do with your arms and hands. And now together we will bring the hands, the palms, a little bit ahead of the front foot and just practice that gentle little rock forward and back so that we start to feel what it's like to have all of our weight onto the front foot. And when you're feeling ready, keep the weight on the front foot, bend that right knee, woo, come to standing, bring the knee to the chest, taking a couple of breaths here. And then rotating in the right hip to open that leg up to the side. And then placing that foot along the standing leg at any shape to find your tree pose. And if you're able to join me with your arms, we're going to take them out into a T shape at our sides. We're going to think about long spine, long, strong standing leg. And on your next exhale, the tree, shake out your standing leg. Whew, that was a lot. Maybe find some ankle circles. You might want to find some wrist circles. And I'm just going to take a second here and I would love for you to join me. I'm just going to sway a little bit. So that was a pretty challenging flow for me, at least. And I feel like I just want to be a free little angel baby for a couple of seconds before I get back into more intense flow. So we're shaking it out, grabbing some water if we need. All right, so we are going to step towards the top of our mat. We're going to skip the first half of the flow, and we're just going to go straight inside triangle stretch. So we're going to take our right foot back first. So let's start with our feet underneath our hips. Send the right foot back. So this is similar to that shape in the legs that we just made. We're just not folding forward yet. Our back leg, we're going to turn the toes out to the side so that our foot is making sort of a 45-degree angle here. We're going to send the hips backwards, fold the front body forward so you can have your hand either on your thigh, your shin, the top of your foot, or the mat. And extend the right arm up towards the sky or the ceiling, whatever is above you. And see if you can also bring your focus there as well, keeping a lot of space between your shoulders. The front parts of your shoulders, that is. If you want to think about the back of your shoulders, your shoulder blades, you can think about moving them closer together. All right, take an inhale here. On your next exhale, we're going to let that arm swoop down. We're going to come into a forward fold. We're going to turn the toes back to their starting place. Let's practice this rock onto the forward foot again. So getting ready for another one-legged balance. My least depending on how experienced you are in this shape, you can leave your hands on your thighs to help stabilize and ground you. Woo! I apparently cannot turn my head while I do that. Or you could also extend your hands behind you so that your hands are reaching towards that right foot. Or you can extend your hands in front of you, which I cannot do, but you might be able to. That is such a difficult shape for me. We're going to hold it for just 2 more breaths here. On your next exhale, bend both of the and then we're going to come back to our knees. Send the hips backwards towards the heels, finding child's pose again. We're going to hang out there before we do that same little sequence on the other side. All right, taking an inhale, looking up and forward, we will go through our hands and knees, tabletop, tucking the toes, sending the hips upwards and backwards to get into our downward dog shape. Go ahead and walk the feet forward towards the hands and roll up through the spine to stand so that we can do that on the other side. So both feet are underneath our hips. We will send the left foot backwards this time to find this standing triangle shape in our legs. We'll rotate the back foot so that the toes are pointing out to the side at about a 45-degree angle. We'll shift the hips backwards towards that left back diagonal and send the front of the body forward, opening up the left arm to the sky or ceiling. Continuing to breathe. On your next exhale, let that arm swoop down. Hands are on the mat. We will turn the back toes so that they are facing towards your head. We will rock our way front and back until we feel ready to balance on our right foot and to go into that extremely difficult warrior three. So when you're ready, you can start with a bent knee, bent standing knee, extending the left leg behind yourself and up so that it is parallel with the ground. And then finding stability through your arms. Look at me. I'm so lucky. I have a fence ahead of me right now, and I am going to use the hell out of that guy because, my God, this shape kills me. Two more breaths here. Ooh. On your next exhale, just release all of that. Oh, God, lower it down. This time, if you are feeling capable of doing it, you're free to go into this just done with the heels coming up. If you've got it in you, go ahead and get a little bit of space between your heels so you can think about your heels being a little farther apart than your sits bones, which are the parts of your butt that's pointing towards the ground. And so in this place, if you're able to, find the full sole of your feet on the ground. My toes are turned out a little bit, again, thinking about that 45-degree angle. I've got my hips thinking about lowering down to the ground. My yogi squat. You want to explore today, feel free to return to what we had done on the other side, or even, if that's too much for you right now, coming onto a seated place with the feet together in cobbler's pose or butterfly position, whatever you know it to be. Wherever you are, we'll just continue to breathe. Ourselves in this cobbler's pose or butterfly position. So if you were there already, just hang out. Let's go ahead and let our wrists reach towards the knees so our arms are extended. And maybe it's your wrists, maybe it's your palms, maybe it's your forearms, however long your limbs are. Just pressing into the knees. If that is a little too much pressure in your hip flexors, feel free to go grab a pile of books or blankets or pillows or something to place underneath your knees so that you don't have as much pressure in your hip socket. And again, we're thinking about length in the spine. Keep breathing. You stay there. I'm going to tilt my camera so that you can see me a little clearer. Wow, that made a world of difference. Okay, we're going to do another seated or another twist. This time we're seated. So keeping the left knee bent, we're going to lift the right knee so that it's facing up, facing the ceiling. The right sole of the foot is still on the ground. If you're feeling super flexy, super bendy, you might be able to tuck that left foot a little bit closer to your pelvis and then cross the right foot on the opposite side of the left knee. If that's not available to you, this more open shape is okay as well. So wherever you found yourself, take an inhale. And as you exhale, twist the spine towards the right. You can use your left hand to clasp around your right knee. If you're experienced with twists, or if this is just very, very easy for you and you want a little bit of a challenge, on every inhale, think about lengthening your spine, making it even taller and stronger. And on your exhales, you can think about finding a little bit more of a rotation in that spine. Keep breathing. On your next exhale, just gently unwind your spine, untwist. We're going to keep the legs where they are and just do a really quick little counter twist. So spiraling the spine towards the left. And then coming back towards the center. We'll switch the legs and do that on the other side. So again, feeling free to have a more open shape here or a little bit more of a twisted, compacted shape here. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, twist the spine towards the left. Same cues as last time. If you find that you want to deepen your twist, you do so on the exhale. On your next exhale, let your spine unwind. Let's go to our counter twist, just gently towards the right, and release that. And we're going to come to our backs. Woo, ready for that, yeah? I'm going to check the time. Oh, we're doing great. All right, come to your back. We're going to keep the soles of the feet on the floor with the knees facing up. And we're going to just take a couple of seconds to breathe on our backs right here. So a little pause, a little breath, a little rest. All right, we're going to ground ourselves to get ready to do some lifting in our hips and our pelvis. So the soles of our feet are flat on the earth. Our palms are going to be flat on the earth as well. We're going to take an inhale, and as we exhale, we're going to press into the soles of our feet so much that our hips lift up towards the sky. And we will lower that down. And we'll do that again. Take an inhale. As you exhale, hips are up. And lower them down. We're going to do that 2 more times. Ready? Lifting up. And lowering. Last one, lift it up. We're going to hold this one for a little bit. So if you want a little bit of a challenge here, we're going to think about bringing our shoulder blades together, which is going to bring our arms, the top of our arms and our shoulders a little bit underneath us. We're going to clasp the hands underneath the hips and think about pressing the hips up, maybe even a little bit higher. If you want, ooh, there's a fly in my face. If you want even more of a challenge here, you can lift the heel so that you are sort of balancing on the balls of your feet. If you want an even deeper challenge, which I personally do not, I will offer it to you and I will not share it with you. And you can lift one leg up and hold it. We will go into the shape again. So if you decide to lift one leg, don't worry, just hold that one and we'll do it all over again. So you can do the other leg. And we're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lowering down, unclasping the hands if you had clasped them. And let's just tuck our knees into our chest to give our spine a little bit of a different sensation, kind of an opposite feel of what it was doing just now. You might even want to rock gently from left to right. And then we're going to do that sequence again. So letting the knees go, letting the soles of the feet find the ground. Soles of the feet and the palms are pressing into the ground. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, lifting up the hips. And lower. Just 2 more of those. Ready? Lift them up. And lower. Here's our final one. We're going to lift it up. And then here is your chance to complicate it a little bit if you're feeling ready to do that. If you're not, you can completely stay in the first sort of simpler, gentle shape. It's completely up to you. So this would be the time where you would lift your opposite leg if you were choosing to lift legs here. We'll hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Let's again fold the knees into the chest. Extend the knees so that the feet are reaching up towards the ceiling. Let's just shake those legs out. That was a lot of work in the leg muscles to lift the hips like that. So let's just shake it out. Feeling your flesh really rotating against the bone and just loosening and jiggling. You might even want to tap or pat, whatever feels good. Maybe even a little bit of a massage. All right, let those feet go. Back to the mat. We're going to take another second here to just breathe on our backs. Soles of the feet are on the mat, knees are up. Now what we're going to do, center yourself on your mat and then walk your feet out so that they are on the edge of the mat. So they're wide, far apart from each other. And we're going to let our knees fall inwards towards each other. So we did a good bit of hip opening with either the yogi squat or the cobblers or butterfly position, whichever you chose to do. So this is sort of our response to that, right? So we always want balance. We did a little bit of external rotation, so now we want to find some internal rotation. All right, and let's bring our knees away from each other. We're going to extend both of our legs. So we've got our body here. Let's grab the right knee, tucking it into the chest. We're going to find a little bit more spiral and twisting in the spine to close our practice out. So I'm going to take my right knee and I'm going to cross it over my body towards the left shoulder. And I'm going to let my right hand reach towards the right side. So they're in opposition. They're in opposition to each other here. So the right knee has folded over towards the left side. The right arm is open towards the right, and we're going to send our focus towards the right as well. So we're getting a deep stretch in our spine, but also sort of in our tricep area. And if you want an even deeper stretch in your hamstrings here, you can send our right so that knee is straightened and the leg is long. And if you want to go even deeper with that, you can grab the right foot with the left hand, or at least reach towards it. Find as much twist and as much spiral as you need tonight. We're going to just retrograde ourselves back in. So if you extended that top leg, go ahead and bend the knee, tuck it back in towards the chest. And then lower that leg. Find yourselves long again. Take a breath here before we go to the other side. Let's tuck the left knee into the chest. And then bring find that spiral, yogi's choice. However you want to stretch and spiral right now is up to you. Just making sure my alarm doesn't go off again. And releasing that stretch, finding the knee towards the chest again, extending that leg. We're about to go into our Savasana, so I want to give you about 30 seconds to just maybe wiggle around or do some squirming or find any shape that you might have missed in this practice. And once you're ready to settle in to Savasana, you're going to lie flat on your back and let's put our palms on our chest. So maybe place one palm higher on your chest around the rib cage and the other palm a little bit lower around your belly button. And really sense your breath here. All right, friends, we're going to gently come out of Savasana. So start to flutter your little eyeballs open if they were closed. Maybe find some ankle circles or wrist circles. And just very, very, very gently, very slowly, start to find your way into an upright seated position. I'm getting attacked by flies. So sorry I keep twitching. All right, I'm actually going to choose to finish sitting on my shins, but you can sit however you'd like for our final deep breath together. We're actually going to do a lion's breath. So if you're unsure of lion's breath, we'll take a really big inhale together, and then as you exhale, you're going to open your mouth really wide, stick your tongue out, and let your exhale really breathily travel. So your face will look like this. Yeah, really scary. Okay, ready? Let's take an inhale. And whenever you're ready to exhale, let it go. It's like a silent scream. Thank you for joining me in this class. I'm going to press the end class button, which is going to bring us into a cool down room together so that we can just share a couple of parting words with each other. So namaste to you all. And class is over. I will see you in the cool down room.